is cause for excitement in my household because the episode number 12 of season number 2 of Ted Lasso is available tonight. The depressing aspect of it, however, is that it is the season finale of Ted Lasso season number 2, and thus we will have to wait for more for quite some time. And the man who plays Jamie Tartt of AFC Richmond fame, once again, Phil Dunster, here on the Rich Eisen Show. How are you, Phil?
Ahoy! I'm very well, thanks, mate. Yes, yeah, devastated that we don't get to tune in again for another few months. But yeah, I'm very well, thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Well, it is an incredible show that you're a part of, Phil. This is a phenomenon for a reason, because not only is it funny, but it's also so heartwarming and actually enhances enjoyment as this episode goes along, even when it is kind of difficult and dramatic in its way. How do you find this show, being a part of it, Phil Dunster? What do you like about it?
Well, I think that, I mean, those are all very nice things to say, thank you. And also it's funny because when you're filming it, you know, it's a cliche, isn't it, when you're just happy to be a part of something like that, and it's nice to hear all those things. But when we film it, it's like it just feels like a really nice show where there are lots of funny people who are making each other laugh. You know, it doesn't feel like we're doing God's work in a sense. You know, I think that that seems to have hit a bit of a zeitgeist thing, and that's for other people to say, and it's very nice to hear it. But it does feel like there's, you know, it feels like there's something special when you watch it. And it's funny to think that, you know, there's lots of superhero movies, and it seems like Ted Lasso's superpower is kindness and empathy and sort of compassion. So yeah, it does feel like the world needs that, and it feels great to be a part of a show that is giving that to people.
Honestly, I get there. I sit around, my wife and I, we watch it, and we just, when the credits roll, we're just blown away. And I'm serious. Like, normally that's associated with a drama. Like, I've had feelings like that, and this is the truth. Watching shows like Game of Thrones, Sopranos, The Wire, those types of shows where my wife and I look at each other when the credits roll, and we want to know who wrote it, who directed it. And we want to know literally everything about it. It is that special. That's the way I feel about it, Phil.
Well, I think that it does feel like that the curiosity that inspires you, hopefully, is a thing that we try to tap into in the show. I think that it just has some really simple lessons in it. At its most, it feels like it's got some really lovely, simple lessons in there that the idea of curiosity, not judgment. I think it's such a simple, but kind of, I don't know, when I heard it, I was like, God, that feels quite profound. And so you go away and it feels like you've sort of been taught something. But, you know, at its sort of least, it's a show that is like, it's a funny show. And, you know, you go there for, you know, Nate making funny, weird jokes and Higgins making his weird jokes. And then you stay for Sam Obasanya breaking your heart, and you know, you fall in love with Keely, and like her earnestness. And so, yeah, it feels like there's something for everyone in there, I guess. Hopefully, yeah.
It is. Phil Dunster, who plays Jamie Tartt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Let's dish a little bit, sir. Who are you playing? Who from the real world of football are you channeling, do you think, Phil?
Well, there's an amalgam.
Okay.
Probably for my lawyer will tell me that I have to say there's an amalgam.
Okay, very good.
But,
good.
But Jamie's based on people like Jack Grealish from the sartorial sort of style.
Mm-hmm.
Cristiano Ronaldo, who would love to believe that he's got a bit of his swagger, a bit of his footballing style. Yes. Bernardo Silva. There's a bit of Neymar in there. But there's, you know, any sort of elite footballer has to have a sort of undying self-belief. And, you know, there's plenty of footballers out there that you can take inspiration from for that.
Yeah, you do have the hair, the eyebrows down of elite footballer. You've got that one nailed, Phil. You've got that one nailed down.
Well, I grew that bit myself, but it was styled by lovely Nicky Austin. But yeah, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Now, is it true you have also nailed down the 40 40 meter free kick. What are you?
Yeah.
In season
Okay, meter. Yeah.
In season 2, episode 6, Jamie Tartt, spoiler alert, has a free kick. Is this true, Phil Dunster? You're the one who literally in real life, no CGI, tucked that under the crossbar perfectly in the corner.
Yeah. You might be able to see me squeezing my eyes and praying whilst I do it. But, yeah, it was one of those moments where I was like, God, that was a good time to have a fluke. But no, I played a lot of rugby. So the story of it is basically that I read it in the script, and in my mind, for anyone who is sort of familiar with the Cristiano Ronaldo free kick canon, there's a famous free kick that he has about 45 yards out in the semi-final of the Champions League, which is one of the biggest domestic football competitions. Anyone doesn't know, and so in that you want to, you don't want to take too many chances. But Cristiano Ronaldo took it upon himself to go, no, I'll probably score this if I take it and hit it as hard as I can. And so I think that I was like, yeah, I want to channel that if I can. But obviously that to actually do that, you need to be Cristiano Ronaldo, and Cristiano Ronaldo, I am not. And hence the praying and the shutting of the eyes. But no, I used to play a lot of rugby, so I think you could maybe see this quite like a rugby kick, just getting on the ball. But yeah.
But that has to rank up no matter what you do the rest of your career, certainly amongst your castmates and the crew and whatever. That's got to rank up there that's a walk-off, as we might say in American sport. I
don't let anybody forget it. There is, and I forced Brendan to put that on Twitter. I said, people need to know, man. People need to know.
Well, while you were talking, we took that off of. You could see Brendan Hunt, who plays Coach Beard. You could see him in the reflection of the monitor of him shooting it, and he posted it on Twitter. We just showed that video. I mean, that's impressive, right, Phil. Very impressive.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Yeah, he looked like a proud dad, didn't he? Yeah.
Phil Dunster plays Jamie Tartt here on the Rich Eisen Show. Is it also true that you auditioned for the role using a Spanish accent? Is that a true story?
It is a true story, yeah. The casting call originally went out because they were looking for somebody who was maybe, a Latino player or maybe an Italian player, someone that would sort of, from countries that have a lot of flair when they play football. And I did a Spanish accent for it, and they were like, you're good. Maybe your Spanish accent isn't great. They said, maybe we'll try and find... They didn't want someone who sounded like me. Mm-hmm. So they wanted someone who's like, maybe from an area where someone's got to hustle a lot in order to get to where they need to be. And for me, I know a lot of my girlfriend's family are all from Manchester. I know a lot of pop culture from Manchester, Liam Gallagher. There's a rapper over here called H, who's incredible. And there's a sort of attitude to the place that just really lent itself to like a bit of flair, a bit of show off, a bit of like passion. So yeah, we managed to veer away from the Spanish accent enough so that I could get the part, thankfully.
And then one of the beauties of this show, one of the many of them, right, is that it does mimic a lot of or perfectly nail and portray the fandom that is surrounding the sport of football in the UK, and thus the chanting and the cheers. The Roy Kent song, the chant for Roy Kent being one, and then of course yours, Jamie Tartt, to the tune of, and I apologize to all of my listeners and viewers right now for putting this song in their head for the rest of the day, Baby Shark. Is it true you came up with that idea for that chant, Phil Dunster? Is that true?
Yeah, I'm gonna stand alongside you in solidarity and apologize to the listeners who are now thinking of that song. Yeah, well, yes. Joe Kelly, one of the creators, sort of came up to me and was like, "We're looking for a song here. Does anything spring to mind?" It just felt like the syllables worked in it, and it was really annoying. And so we sort of together we sort of came up with that being the chant, it follows me around a bit now, and that's
I was about to say, Phil, I've been at this business for a while. I was in a show, Sports Center on ESPN back in the day, And the theme song for that is da-na-na, da-na-na. And to this day, I haven't been on since 2003. In the airport, people say that to me when I'm walking through an airport. I hear that.
Yeah.
I'm wondering how often you're hearing Baby Shark in your direction.
I came over to America a couple of weeks ago for the Emmys, and it happened a lot more there. People really seem. Maybe it's just that people are far more forward in chanting your song at you, than they are here. But certainly, when people were like, "Can I get a video of you singing it?" I was like, "I'm probably going to leave that out, I imagine." But because that might be a bit much.
You got to draw a line somewhere, Phil. You got to have boundaries. No question. I agree with you.
Maybe we could do a show on the road. Maybe I can sing that, and then you can sing the Sports Center song. I
love it. By the way, I'll take that. Anything to be associated with Ted Lasso and you for sure. And so, was there a close second, another Clubhouse leader till you suggested Baby Shark, and then?
Well, I was thinking because it's like such a madly popular video, like a depressingly. I think it's the most viewed video of all time in all human history. Baby Shark is the most viewed video.
Yes.
And so I was trying to think of like what's a really easy pop song. I think maybe Ed Sheeran, "Shape of You." I was thinking, is there a way you can get a bit of that in there?
Okay.
A bit of Elvis maybe, but. It's just, I think, I'm a pretty lazy person, and that was one of the first ones I landed on, so I was like, that works.
Oh, my gosh. And then to wrap all this up here, your character and the Roy Kent character, who's obviously, well, let me put this for people who may not know, he's more of a grizzled old guard, you're the young guard, and then obviously you're competing for the affections for the same woman. This is a story as old as forever.
Yeah.
How is it true you met Brett Goldstein, who plays Roy Kent and writes a lot of this show as well, before, that you have a history with him in some way, shape, or form?
Yes, I do. Yeah, that's. I did a play when I was 18 years old, and I just did it. We did it for one night only in London, in the big city. And we had done it because we tried to get this other play, and the producer was like, "Oh, the writer's really nice. We couldn't do that one, but he's given us this other one." And so we did it for this one night, and then he was like, "Oh, the writer's here." And this guy with like beautiful man, very hairy, big eyebrows, turned up, and he said that his name was Brett Goldstein. I was like, "Oh, that's cool. I'll see you later." And then on the first day of filming, he turned up, and I was like, "Oh my God, you won't remember me?" And he was like, "I do. I was there. I remember it." And you were fine. You were fine in it. Yeah, you were good. But no, he was immediately incredibly welcoming and charming, and he's just like, I can't believe I get to do all my things with him, because he's very funny, and I can't believe they still let us do things together, because we just spend so much time laughing. I worry that it's a drain on the budget, really.
I suppose, it just looks like you're having fun. It's just one of those shows where you're just sitting there and you're assuming it's not work for those who are obviously working and obviously plying their craft at such an incredibly high level together as an ensemble cast. It just looks like you guys have to be having a total blast doing this show.
It feels like we're cheating somewhere along the way. It feels pretty good. And then I get to speak about sports with people such as yourself. So
okay.
It feels like a bit of a dream.
And then let me end with this then. What's your real club? Do you have a real club? Real football team? Real football club?
I certainly do.
What is it?
The greatest team of all time, AFC Wimbledon.
Okay, to Americans that will think that you're actually talking about tennis. You realize that, Phil, right? You realize that to this American crowd.
Sometimes they play football a bit like it's a different sport. I mean, it's not the most. They don't really call it the beautiful game when you're watching AFC Wimbledon all the time. But we're a small club, but we've got a lot of heart. And so yeah, we're but maybe Manchester United are like my Premier League team. That's
okay.
Probably people would know them a bit more.
Please tell me AFC Wimbledon plays on natural grass, right, Phil? They have to, correct?
They do, yeah, they do, yeah.
Okay.
But some of them do play on AstroTurf, which blows my mind.
No, it's just it does too. Well, look, thank you for the time, Phil. This has been a blast. I'd love to have you back anytime, certainly for season 3, and then obviously hoping for seasons 4, 5, and 6. What have you, the cast members, been told about this whole concept of maybe more than 3?
Well, I think that we are holding fast in terms of anything further than 3. We all love making the show. I love going into work with those people, so I'd love to continue. But also, there's a certain story arc that I think that they've got in mind, and I don't know how long that's, I really don't know how long that's going to take, but I'm just happy making this show, and I'm happy to continue if people are enjoying and watching it. So,
it's beautiful.
yeah.
It's wonderful. It's incredible. And like I said at the outset of this interview tonight, we'll be excited, my wife and I, to watch it, and then totally depressed when it's over because we got to wait. I'm serious. Like that's how we feel about
it. The roller coaster of life, man. It's just, that's how we get you.
Terrific. Thanks for the call, Phil Dunster. Really appreciate it. Congrats on what you're doing, and I look forward to more.
Thanks, brother. Thank you very much.
You bet. Phil Dunster, who plays Jamie Tartt on Apple TV Plus's Ted Lasso, which you can see tonight, season 2 finale, starting to stream right now, right here on the Rich Eisen Show on the Mercedes-Benz Vans phone line. Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.